reason I chose to use ReadWorks as my tool in my universal design plan. I also included ReadWorks in my um, universal design and learning notebook for my resources. I just think ReadWorks has really great options for everything UDL, and I think it's kind of a one-stop shop where you can find many articles, many literary passages that all can connect with your curriculum as well as align with the UDL framework. So as far as the UDL guidelines and checkpoints go, ReadWorks supports a lot of them. In multiple means of representation, ReadWorks supports checkpoint 1.3, 2.1, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 3.2, and 3.3. And I'll kind of toggle back and forth between the guidelines and ReadWorks to kind of show you how ReadWorks supports all of these. So first off, checkpoint 1.3 is offer alternatives for visual information. ReadWorks is really great about having audio recording of passages, so it kind of removes the barrier for those kids who can't decode. They can still access the text. So it sounds like this.
In the Americas, Asia, and Africa, there's a special kind of forest.
So it's kind of slow and not very exciting, but it still makes those kids able to access the content regardless of their reading level or decoding. Checkpoint 2.1, clarify vocabulary and symbols. There's actually a vocabulary tab that has definitions of words that are above grade level or just unfamiliar, that have a definition, images, the Spanish word, and examples. So fragile and irreversible, and it has all of these options for both words. So you could use this to pre-teach students to remove any barriers. Checkpoint 2.2 clarifies syntax and structure. A lot of the articles have question sets that ask questions about the structures and syntax that kind of pulls everything together and asks questions to purposefully make students think of how structures are related to each other and previous texts that they have read. Checkpoint 2.3, support decoding of text, mathematical notation, and symbols. And that's kind of the same with the article being read aloud to them. It supports them and their decoding, and it doesn't allow their decoding to get in the way of accessing the article. Checkpoint 2.4, promote understanding across languages. Like I said, in the vocabulary, they have the Spanish word for the vocabulary words that are listed. So irreversible and fragile. So they have the Spanish word. Checkpoint 2.5, illustrate through multiple media. You can see with the vocabulary they give pictures. So for fragile, they have a baby and they have eggshells. For irreversible, there's really not pictures, but there are examples of how the word is used. Checkpoint 3.2, highlight patterns, critical features, big ideas, and relationships. You're going to find a lot of those in your paired texts because they talk about relationships between texts, so mother cats and their kittens and the chicken and the egg. You can imagine how those stories have a lot in common and a lot different. So it allows the students to compare and contrast as well as talk about critical features, big ideas, and relationships. Guide information processing and visualization. Kind of the same thing with the vocabulary, like I was saying, how it has the pictures of the text as well as pictures of the vocabulary words. Moving into action and expression, checkpoint 5.3, build fluencies with graduated levels of support for practice and performance. They offer different lexiles for the same text. So like we were just looking at our environment text, water from the air and cloud forest, they have it in different lexiles. If it were to load. Let's see. Here we go. So they have Lexile 1060, and then if you click step reads, they also have Lexile 930 and Lexile 820, so they make it accessible to learners of all reading levels. Moving into multiple means of engagement, 7.1, optimize individual choice and autonomy. You can search for any article based on interest. So this allows students, say for basketball, it will allow them to find any articles having to do with basketball. What is going on? Okay. So it allows, they can be in control of what they want to read as well as what they want to search. So it comes up with 70 items of basketball. And 7.2, optimize relevance, value, and authenticity. Like I said in my design plan, the whole school was reading a book, The Adventures of South Pole Pig. So I made my passages align with the article having to do with the South Poles or the Arctic. So you can really align your curriculum nicely with the use of ReadWorks. If you have any questions about ReadWorks, please do not hesitate to ask. Like I said, I think it supports the UDL framework very nicely. Have a good day.